Spain is one win away from becoming World Cup champions, and the player everyone expected to lead them there barely shows up on the score sheet. Lamine Yamal is the most watched player left in this tournament, wearing the same number 19 shirt a young Messi wore at his first World Cup. But his stat sheet says something strange. 1 goal, 0 assists. And Spain kept winning every single time he stepped on the pitch. So either the numbers are lying, or everyone's been watching the wrong thing. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what Lamine Yamal has actually been doing this tournament, and why Spain might not be in this final without him. Lamine Yamal joined Barcelona's La Masia Academy at 7 years old. Hundreds of kids pass through that academy every year. Most of them spend years in the youth ranks, working their way up quietly, with nobody outside Spain knowing their name. Yamal didn't get that timeline. By 15, he was already training with the first team, and history says that should have been a warning sign, not a promise. Barcelona's academy has produced plenty of names who got the early promotion and never lived up to it. The gap between youth football and senior football has ended more careers than it's launched. Coaches had every reason to be cautious. Teammates had every reason to wonder if this was too much, too soon. Then Yamal made his first team debut at 15 years and 160 days old, the youngest player in Barcelona's La Liga history. Not a substitute appearance to tick a box. Not a farewell tour for a fading squad. Barcelona built around him almost immediately, handing a teenager responsibility most players don't get until their mid-20s. He wasn't hyped potential waiting to be proven. He was already essential. After his breakout season at Barcelona, Spain's national team faced a decision. Bring a 16-year-old into a European Championship squad, where one bad tournament under pressure can stall a career before it starts. Or leave him out, let him develop, and wait for the next cycle. They picked him. Euro 2024 would be the first time Yamal's club form had to survive on the biggest stage international football offered. Major tournaments have ended careers before they started. The pressure is nothing like a league season. One poor performance in a knockout match gets replayed for years, and a 16-year-old carrying that kind of scrutiny into a semifinal has no margin for a bad night. Spain had made their bet. Now Yamal had to justify it in front of the entire continent. In the semifinal against France, he scored the goal of the tournament. Spain went on to win the whole thing, and Yamal became the youngest player ever to win a major international trophy, breaking a record Lionel Messi's idol, Pelé, had held since 1958. Club form is one thing. Doing it for your country at 16 with a trophy on the line is another. Yamal walked into the 2026 World Cup wearing Spain's number 19, the same number a young Lionel Messi wore at his first World Cup back in 2006. The comparison started before a ball was even kicked, but look closer at what that comparison actually means. In 2006, Messi played 3 matches for Argentina. Just 121 minutes total. He came off the bench, scored a goal, set up another, and then didn't play a single minute in the match that ended Argentina's tournament. He was a teenager Argentina trusted, with flashes, not full games. Yamal has started 6 of Spain's 7 matches, 495 minutes on the pitch, and in all that time, 1 goal, 0 assists. If the old comparison were true, the numbers should be flipped. They're not. Because this was never about Yamal matching a quiet Messi. Spain handed a teenager more responsibility than Messi ever got at the same age. Full matches, tournament after tournament, and the goals still haven't come. They kept starting him anyway, because the numbers were hiding what he was actually doing. Pulling defenders out of position, drawing fouls other players couldn't draw, creating space his teammates were finishing. 1 goal, 0 assists, and somehow still the reason Spain's attack functioned at all. On July 13th, the day before Spain's semifinal, Yamal turned 19. There was no time to celebrate. Spain had a World Cup semifinal to win, and their most scrutinized player was walking into it a year older, with the weight of an entire tournament still sitting on him. A semifinal is not a stage where quiet tournaments get forgiven. Argentina's story was dominating the headlines. England's late collapse was still being replayed everywhere, and Spain needed their most watched player to finally show up when it mattered most, on his birthday week, with a World Cup final on the line. He turned 19 and stood 1 match from a World Cup title. Still Spain's most watched player on the pitch, holding a starting role a teenage Messi never got at the same age. Win or lose on Sunday, a 19-year-old just spent a World Cup carrying carrying trust nobody handed him this early, and he didn't break. On Sunday, the world will remember who lifted the trophy. But years from now, Spain might remember something else: the teenager who carried them there before the numbers ever caught up. If you want more stories like this from the World Cup and beyond, subscribe to Football Minds. We'll be breaking down every major player, moment, and storyline from this tournament and the ones after it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.